With the Midlands being the final large college wrestling tournament in 2018, we kick off in 2019 pretty quickly, the first large tournament of the year being the Southern Scuffle. This took place in Chattanooga. Big colleges that were involved here would be Oklahoma State, Penn State, the defending national champions. There were also some other people from Stanford. Iowa State had a pretty good showing here. We saw Navy and a lot of other colleges. So the way this is going to work, I'm just going to run through the brackets really quickly from 125 all the way up to heavyweight. Then I'll go through some of the tweets that Flow Wrestling put up, just kind of showing some clips from there. So we'll go in that order. I'll just try to run through the brackets really quickly so I can get to the videos from Flow so you can kind of see some of the action that happened. So starting at 125, Nick Piccinini ended up winning this division. He won 7-2 in the finals over Rico Montoya. As far as any other interesting storylines to look at 125, the one thing I was interested in seeing is how Alex Mackel would do. Obviously, he had that match with Spencer Lee that was closer than people anticipated. A lot of people figured that Spencer Lee was still dealing with some issues with the sickness there. It seems like that may have also affected him at Midlands. It seems like, based off his sixth place performance, he's maybe not as close to the number one guy as it might have appeared at that duel. Outside of that, though, you kind of figured Piccinini would win, and he did. At 33, there were three guys here who all had really good shots at winning it all. The three guys being Dayton Fix, Austin Gomez, and Roman Bravo Young. So it's going to be interesting to see how everyone did, especially with RBY, where he's come out really strong. People were saying that he was looking better than they even thought he would be. What was interesting to see with RBY is that as dominant as he's been early in the season, he really wasn't that dominant in this tournament all the way up until he had his match with Austin Gomez. Now, funny enough, the match with Austin Gomez actually was going pretty well for him. He was up 8-3 at the time that he got thrown, put on his back, and then pinned. So unfortunately for him, after losing to Gomez, he ended up placing third, which is about what would be expected at worst case scenario for him. So Gomez gets to the final. Dayton Fix runs through his half the bracket, gets to face Austin Gomez in the finals and wins that 6-3. At 141, this went well for Penn State. So Nick Lee ended up winning this division, beat Real Woods in the finals. Don't really have a whole lot more to say beyond that. At 49, this one didn't go quite as well for Penn State, with Brady Berge losing to Mitch Feinsilver. Feinsilver lost in the finals to Caden Gefeller. So good for Oklahoma State to get a win here between two really good wrestlers between Feinsilver and Gefeller. At 57, Jason Nolf, to the surprise of pretty much no one, just tore through the bracket here, got to the finals up against his teammate Bo Pfeiffer. Bo was looking really good. It's going to be interesting to see how those two paired off, but Nolf just ran through him very quickly, ended up getting a tech fall within the first period. So if there are any questions, hey, what if Bo shows really good and what if Bo actually pulls the upset here, what's going to happen? No need to worry about that now. Jason Nolf won a very dominant match there. At 65, we had what I think was probably the most interesting final between Vincenzo Joseph, the returning two-time national champion, against Chance Marsteller, who it looks like he had a pretty good year last year, obviously All-American. Obviously, he started off as a high school wrestling grade in Pennsylvania, went to Oklahoma State, had some trouble there. Never really looked as good as he was expected to look. Now is with Lockhaven, had a good year last year, but it looks to be doing pretty well this year too. Very close match with Vincenzo, but Vincenzo got the edge on him here. At 74, we had Mark Hall defeating Joe Smith. That was an interesting match too, just to see how good Joe Smith was looking up in that bracket up until the finals. The final score was 5-1, so it doesn't look all that close, but I believe that Mark Hall got most of those points late in the match when he was already up. So obviously Mark Hall is a tough guy to hit a takedown on, so just keeping it close to Mark Hall, while that's a good sign, you still have to be able to take him down if you're going to beat him. More likely than not, obviously there are other ways to do it in folk style wrestling, but chances are if you're going to beat Mark Hall, you got to take him down, and Joe Smith wasn't able to do so. So for him to go from a guy who looks like he's probably going to be an All-American this year, for him to actually have a shot at the title, he's going to have to improve upon the performance he had in the finals here. At 184, we had Shakur Rashid coming through. He ended up winning the bracket fairly easily. He had a couple close matches, one with Sammy Colbert, and then in the finals against Hunter Bolin. But he was able to get it done here and get the victory and win the weight class at 184. At 197, Bo Nickel, returning national champ from 184, number one of the weight class, was expected to do pretty well here. Had a few close matches, I guess I'd say. I mean, 4-1's a fairly close match for Bo. 2-0's a fairly close match for Bo. Had a good match against Nathan Traxler in the finals. Wasn't able to, he got the fall, but I guess the hope would have been that actually he got the fall all the way through. I guess I'm reading this bracket wrong. We got fall from quarterfinals, semifinals, and finals. So that's actually my issue. He actually pinned all the way through the tournament. I'm remembering wrong right now. And then at 285, what I think is really interesting for Penn State is that Nick Nevels was an All-American last year. He obviously had that match against Kyle Snyder in the duels where he had to keep it close for Penn State to hold on to the victory, and he was able to do so. But Anthony Cassar, who was coming up from 197, I don't even think Cassar finished the year wrestling at 197 for Penn State. I think Shakur Rashid took that spot from him. I may be wrong on that, or I may be remembering that wrong. But it just kind of shows the depth that Penn State has. But Cassar made it through to the finals. Nevels ended up losing to Derek White on the in the semifinals. Cassar had a chance to avenge his teammates' loss. He was not able to avenge his teammates' loss. Derek White also beat Cassar. So good win for Derek White. Also kind of makes you think, people have been wondering how good is Gable Stevenson. He had the one match with Derek White where he was able to beat him pretty convincingly, but we haven't seen him against some of the other top guys, and we're going to see that soon in the Big Ten season. But for Derek White to go in and beat Nevels and Cassar after having lost to Gable Stevenson, it kind of shows you where Gable's at. So now I'm just going to go through some clips from Flow Wrestling here just to kind of show what had happened. So here's a little clip from the Mark Hall match. So this is just a quick start for him. It's a picture of Shakur Rashid after winning his title. Bo Nickel. Little video of Shakur Rashid. Securing a takedown. Very nice. Here's Bo Nickel getting a pin. What I liked about the pin, or at least what I liked about what happened after the pin, is he actually reached his hand out and helped the guy up. A lot of times you're seeing in college wrestling where guys just start flexing over their opponents and acting like complete hard asses after they win. It's nice to see someone who's a little more respectful, and that's Bo Nickel right here. So that's very nice by him. Good job on the pin. Good job on the sportsmanship. Derek White with some blood running out of his nose. There's his big takedown that got him the win over Cassar. Piccinini, Dayton Fix. Here's Piccinini. Scoring some points, getting a tilt. And have Dayton Fix hitting a takedown on Austin Gomez. Snap down, go behind, very nice. Caden Gefeller. There's Nick Lee hitting a takedown against Real Woods. A little highlight of Caden against Mitch Fine Silver. Nice little tilt there. I believe this is Nick Lee. No, Jason Nolf. Yeah, Jason Nolf versus Bo Pfeiffer. Obviously, they're both in the Penn State singlets. Nice little roll through there. This one I kind of have to watch a couple times just to see what he does here. Because it looks like Pfeiffer is actually pretty close to taking him down there, but good job on the defense. Good job rolling through and then turning it into back points. It's pretty impressive. So really nicely done by Nolf there. Obviously, he likes to do a lot of rolling techniques and always seems to catch people off guard, even his own teammates who get to work with him every day. There's Chenzo against Chance Marsteller. And then these are the final points. So Penn State ended up winning the tournament. Oklahoma State was fairly close behind, a little under 20 points. And then from there, a pretty big gap between them and Iowa State, Stanford, Navy, Lock Haven, Duke, and the rest of them. And that pretty much covers everything that happened at the Southern Scuffle. And I look forward to seeing Penn State obviously now enter the dual season and see how the rest of the field does moving forward.